My name is Laszlo Varga and I am a professional hunter and a jagdterrier breeder. Because of the European swine fever situation, I began to deal with deratization, and my main purpose was to give work to my jagdterriers. Rat invasion is a big problem not only in Europe, but all over the world. They are an extremely reproductive breed. They are pregnant only for 23 days and after birth, they leave the nest within 3 weeks. As they become 8 weeks old, they become mature and can have litters. It means that if 2 rats move into your property, whether you notice or not, the size of the rat community will grow to 18 to 10 rats within 2 months. A litter consists of 8 to 10 rats, but sometimes it can be 15 or more ones, and a grown-up bitch rat can have litters 5 to 6 times a year. The other problem is with them that they spread a lot of diseases, like leptospirosis and meningitis, and even plague sometimes. If they are close to you, they can infect with their excrement, with their urine, and even with their bite or scratch. When we hunt them, we should be very careful as even the dust of their tunnels can be infectious for us. It is very important that you can do the deratization, or rat hunting with 2 methods, with chemicals and with biological way, which is faster and less dangerous for your environment. If you use chemicals and poison the rats, they can live and suffer for 2 to 3 days before they die, and chemicals can be dangerous for your other animals as well. This is why we use dogs, in this case jagdterriers, together with ferrets, who can cooperate well and kill the rats instantly in a very short period. We let the ferrets go into their tunnels and to other small and narrow spaces, where they swing the rats to the direction of the dogs, where they can catch them. This is a complex cooperation between ferrets and dogs, and if you do not use chemicals and poisons, this is the most lethal biological weapon against rats. This is basically an ancient and proven way of rat hunting, which had to be reinvented because of the rat invasion of our days. We are getting more and more rich, consume more and more food, and the amount of waste we are producing is growing rapidly, which is basically a heaven for the rat colonies and communities. Many times it happens that if ferrets are going into the rat tunnel, they are not only swing the rats, but take up the fights against them. They usually kill the younger rats, but they are able to fight even the biggest, sometimes 0.6 to 0.7 pound adult male rats as well. But in most cases they chase the rats out of the tunnels. As the social network of rats is excellent, they warn each other that a ferret entered their territory and everybody knows that they have to escape. In this case, rats leave their tunnels and holes, and then the dogs catch them. This can be extremely successful if the hunting dogs are accustomed to be and work together with the ferrets. When my dogs are young, we practice a lot of them, for example with chasing balls in the absence of ferrets, so that they learn that they have to concentrate on the prey and not on the ferret. It is interesting to experience that good ratting terrier dogs hate rats above everything, and it helps a lot in teaching them accept this cooperation between species. My dogs are 100% ferret safe. They exactly know where the ferret is in the tunnel and he is doing. They never attack the ferret, even if they are in the hunting fever, they are always catch the rat. This is happening because they understand that the ferret is their colleague or hunting pal, and if they go into the tunnel, my enemy will come out sooner or later. The dogs usually know by smell and by the movement of the animal that who is their friend and who is their enemy, as the ferret usually come out of the tunnel slowly, and the rats try to jump out fast. Rats usually move into human areas in autumns, when the crops are harvested and piled in yards. The most infected places in general are where poultry is raised, like pheasant farms, for example, as poultry consume forage with a lot of waste, usually there are a lot of food around their bowls. From this moment, a scene like this will be a real Canaan for the rat colony. When we are called to go and hunt the rats, we usually go out with our best smelling dog and look around on the spot. The dog usually show us that which are the tunnels what we discovered in which rats are living and frequently moving. Although jagd terriers are a very vehement and active breed, they can be attentive and careful, and they are able to stand and listen to the movements of the rats and later, during a hunt, the movement of the ferret in the tunnel. With the help of our dogs, we have to judge the situation. We have to discover the possible escape routes of the rat colony and set barriers to it, so they will come in one or two directions. It is very important in this work, as, if do not do this, the rats will escape to another location, and of course they always know a place better than we, as it is their home. According to our experiences, rats prefer places where there is a big mess, but in the past years they appear almost everywhere where domestic animals are kept and there are a lot of crops. As they reproduce very swiftly, in a very short time the number of rats can grow to 50 to 80, or even 200 rats within months. We usually get the most rats on pheasant farms. In these places we usually end up with more than 100 to 150 kills. What we usually see is that if rats move in and reproduce, they dig and build up a complete tunnel system under the surface level, where they live, move and form their nests, and raise their litters. Many times we see that even concrete is not a problem for them, they build their homes in concrete as well. After the first hunt, we usually return to the spot within 2 to 3 weeks, as there are always some survivors, and we have to destroy them as well. If they are not killed, the whole colony reproduces itself in a very short time. Before a hunt, you can never estimate the exact number of a future catch, even if you live in the area, as in general, only part of the rat colony moves regularly and come out of their tunnel system. Although small-sized ones, but ferrets are real predators and many times they eat parts of the rats killed. One of their favorite is the brain, because of the high level of protein it contains. As they are predators, you cannot do much to avoid this, only one thing. In breeding of ferrets you have to prefer those lines who work very well and not tend to eat them. In connection with jagd terriers, you have to train them from an early age that they do not handle any domestic animals as enemies or prey. They have to concentrate solely on rats. At home I raise some chickens with the only purpose that I can teach my dogs not to harm them. Jagd terriers have a very strong hunting instinct, and we have seen some sad examples when an untrained jagd terrier killed 500 chickens in one night. This is why it is so important to control their energies and turn them to the required direction. When we hunt for rats, it is very important that, if possible, the whole rat community should be eliminated. If you do not catch the young, someday, or week-old rats, they leave the litter when they become 3 weeks old, and they will run even in your walls. If only the big, older ones are killed, the remaining ones will help each other to raise the young ones, and within 3 to 4 weeks, you will have the same number of rats when you have started the whole work. I can say that in average, if we are called to clean out a normal house where rats moved in almost all cases we find at least 30 to 60 rats. And of course, many of the kills are not discovered, as we never know how much was terminated by the ferrets in the tunnels.